This review has been made possible by Toyota of Naperville. As you know, Toyota has tons of brand new Toyotas available for purchase, but did you know that they also have a remarkable selection of used cars? Head on over to toyotaofnaperville.com and look through hundreds of used cars for sale right now.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2022 Toyota Tundra SR5. Up front is a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, and down below is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this here Tundra because this is the first year of the third generation. Finally, after 15 years, Toyota has given the Tundra the love it deserves and updated it with a new engine, new transmission, new body, pretty much new everything. And so, let's see how well they did. But before we get on with the rest of the video, if you guys would like to help out the channel, I do have a website, zackpradel.com, where I'll be posting blog posts of the cars that I'm reviewing that week, behind the scenes stuff, as well as I have a merch store. And if you'd like to submit your own vehicle for review, you could do that either on my website or by emailing me at pradelreviews@gmail.com. All that stuff will be found in the description below. But let's get back to that twin turbo V6 under the hood. Well, from Toyota themselves, I have seen two different displacements for this engine. I've seen it listed as a 3.4 on their website, and I've seen it listed as a 3.5 on the window sticker. For the exact same truck, exact same trim, exact same VIN number, they have it listed as two different engine displacements. So, from now on, I'm just going to be referring to it as the twin turbo V6. It makes 389 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, which is absolutely awesome. However, there is no V8 offered in the Tundra anymore. So if you're a V8 lover, unfortunately, the Tundra cannot suffice. Fuel economy is a combined 19 miles to the gallon, with 17 in the city and 22 on the highway. Not fabulous, but it is a giant brick of a vehicle. It's a truck, and I don't expect good numbers anyway. However, Toyota is going to roll out a hybrid version of this truck. However, they haven't hit dealers at the time of filming this video. That being said, I really like the turbo V6. I thought I wasn't going to like it, but it actually drives, moves, and feels like a really solid, powerful engine. Now, unfortunately today, I can't give you an acceleration test because the test track is actually completely covered in snow. And as soon as I tap the gas, yep, we're sliding. And that's all my brakes. Yeah, not the best conditions out here, if I'm honest. But luckily, I actually did drive a different Tundra when it wasn't so snowy out here. And I can tell you that it is like a V8. You're not going to miss the V8, honestly. Like I said, paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and it's shifting fine. It actually drives and feels like a 6-speed automatic. It's not shifting all the time. I'm not noticing it, and it's letting me actually rev the truck out without getting in the way too much. And last but not least, of course, the Tundra is 4-wheel drive. We'll talk about how to select that a little bit later on, which I am super grateful for on a day like today. With that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I actually have some pretty plain gauges. On the left, I have my tachometer and coolant temperature. Then I have my oil pressure, and off to the right, I have my battery voltage, speedometer, and fuel. In the center, I do get a nice little digital screen giving me some nice readouts. This is very typical of Toyota. The Corolla comes with this, the Camry comes with this screen. It's pretty much standard across their lineup, and I like it. It's decently colorful, and it does the job. On the steering wheel on the left, I have my phone options, my controls for that center screen, as well as volume and voice commands. And on the right, I actually have my radar cruise options. So this does have adaptive cruise control. It's part of Toyota's safety system, which is absolutely fantastic. I do like the feeling of the steering wheel. This feels very fresh and modern with the perforated leather on the sides and all that jazz. Off to the left, I actually have a bunch of really nice switches. I have my rear dome light, as well as my automatic start-stop on and off, automatic high beams, gauge dimmer switch, odometer reset, headlight leveling, and a heated steering wheel switch. However, something that's interesting is that the Tundra SR5 does not come with heated seats. So, just heated steering wheel, which I feel like is a very interesting option. On the door, I have my power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Nothing really too crazy there. And then moving into the center, I do have a 12-volt outlet along with a little cubby to put really anything you'd like. Not sure how useful it is, but you get it. And then we have the new Tundra's infotainment system, so let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk Toyota Tundra infotainment. Now, this is all new for 2022. Here is what it looked like in 2021. And so we have a bunch of upgrades. What I really like is that this has a sort of iOS Apple feel to it. These sort of gray markers, almost like a Tesla 2, which I do praise Tesla for having a very intuitive touchscreen system. It's about all I praise them for, but I have some buttons here for trip information, vehicle alerts, settings, personal info, dealer info, all of that stuff. I, of course, have navigation, and I do have audio. I have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is fantastic. But that's really it. I don't really get anything else special about the infotainment system. Let's put it into reverse. There is the backup camera. As you can see, as I turn the wheels, the lines change as well and has very, very good refresh rate, very high frames per second. Look at how smooth that is transitioning, which is really, really nice. However, upper trim levels of the new Tundra do come with 360 cameras, which is really, really cool. And it actually has this sort of like space out mode. I won't get too deep into it because this truck obviously doesn't have that. But if you want a 360 camera, that can definitely be found. I'm a little disappointed that this doesn't have any fun features or anything really. I mean, going to vehicle, you have trip information and vehicle alert. That's it. Nothing really too fun, which is a little disappointing. Moving below the infotainment system, I have the climate controls. I love these digital readouts. I think they look really, really nice, very modern, and I love the big toggle switches for the climate controls themselves. They're very solid and they're very big, which is super nice, especially today. It's 9 degrees when I started filming this, and so I have gloves on and they're just easier to hit. Moving down below that, I have a couple of interesting switches. I have my traction control on and off, my hazard switch, and my rear differential lock, which is super nice to see on an SR5. Moving on to the center console, I do have my auto holding brake as well as my power parking brake. And the shifter itself, this is a TRD shifter, which is just a nice little addition. Feels nice, feels very modern. This isn't the old style Toyota shifter that they used from 1992 till last year. So I really, really like the look and feel of it. Feels very fresh. And then down below that, I have a bunch of options. On the left is my 4-wheel drive settings. So 2 high, 4 high, or 4 low. And you push it in and select it. It's a very interesting selector dial for the 4-wheel drive. I kind of like it actually. Different and unique for sure. But off to the right of that, I have a bunch of options. I have my drive mode select, so I can go between sport, normal, and eco. I also have my tow haul mode, and I have my crawl mode and MTS modes, which all uses the same selector dial. You just hit whichever one you want and then use the selector at your discretion, which is really, really nice. I like how integrated that is, and I like the functionality. Off to the right of all of that, I do have a little cubby space area to put your phone. Now, in upper trim levels, I actually drove a different trim level that had a wireless charger, which is nice, and you can option that. And then we have cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 2022 Toyota Tundra, and it passes, which is absolutely awesome. I think it's so important for trucks to pass because if you're going to take this out to a work site or, you know, long days, building a deck, whatever you might be doing, you want as much water as you can, and the Tundra lets you do that. Moving on to the center console, very, very large, and this one actually comes with a safe on the inside. So I recently learned this, that some Toyotas towards their base models, more work utility vehicles, actually come with factory built safes in the center for special documents, whatever it might be, which is so cool. And off to the left, I have a USB-C as well as traditional USB, which is nice, and some more storage. Absolutely love that. Now, the seats are cloth. The SR5 doesn't get any important or cool or interesting seats. Like I said, they are not heated. They are not power even. So really, really basic seats here in the SR5 Tundra, but that is okay. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, which are kind of interesting. So let's go do a backseat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2022 Toyota Tundra SR5 double cab. Now that double cab is the interesting part of this back seat. First of all, knee room, fine, headroom fine. But here's my issue. On the outside, this looks like a full 4-door truck. It looks like a crew cab. And in modern standards like the Ram, the Silverado, and the F-150, the back seats are very, very spacious in their crew cabs. This isn't a full crew cab. These doors are maybe 2 feet wide. They're not very wide. And so it's very deceiving. And the reason I bring this up is because Toyota of Naperville actually had a customer that bought one of these. And when they showed up, they were kind of deceived by the door size and ended up not purchasing the vehicle. I'm not saying that's a reason to not purchase the vehicle. I think this is a great truck. However, when you look at it online, I think it's very deceiving. It looks like a full 4-door, but it's really not. These are equivalent to the little half doors of yesteryear. They just open the correct way and look the part, but they're actually very, very small doors. And so if you do want to get like a bigger cabbed vehicle, I would highly suggest searching out a full cab instead of this double cab, which is kind of interesting. That being said, not really many amenities back here. I do get these really nice LEDs up here, actually. Those are factory LEDs. They have this sort of crystal look to them, which is nice. But other than that, it's a very basic truck. This is a utility truck. So with that being said, let's take a quick look at the bed, which I'm very nervous about. It is 12 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is well below freezing here today. So this might be a little bit of a shortened bed review, but let's go do it. All right, so around the back of the 2022 Tundra, we do have our nice trailer hookups here, if those are what you want. And then nice soft opening tailgate as well. And I do have this little cargo extension, as well as I have this really nice tonneau cover that goes on the top. Now, this is the SR5, like I've been saying this whole video. There's nothing really too special about the SR5. It's a more basic off-roader / utility truck vehicle thing. And so I don't get like an outlet back here or anything like that. But the bed extender is very nice. The tailgate is decently light and looks very, very presentable. One thing I like is that I do have a little fold-down step right there, which is a very nice feature. And of course, it has a hitch and all the necessities. And now we've got to talk about the looks of the new Tundra, which is obviously a huge change from the outgoing model. I think it's very interesting. The front end is very, very large. However, so is my front end, so that's okay. This particular Tundra is in gray, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I actually drove a green one, which I really liked. But overall, I think this is very, very handsome for a pickup truck, and I think it looks very fresh and modern, which is huge, especially because the outgoing Tundra looked so outdated, even off the showroom floor. A 2021 looked like a 2010. So it's really nice to see how modern and fresh they made the new Tundra. But now let's get to my final thoughts on the new Tundra. What do I think? Well, as stated at the top of the video, this has a twin-turbo V6, and there is no V8 offered. And I really thought that I was going to miss it. And the reason for that is because I drove a Lexus LS500, which has a very similar engine to this. And that also went from a V8 to a V6 turbo, and I felt like for a luxury car, it was sort of lacking. It now had this lag where the V8 didn't. But driving this truck around town, this isn't going to be a highway cruiser. This isn't meant for sustaining high speeds for a long amount of time. This is meant to do work, to get around town, to carry supplies and utensils. And driving it around town, at around town speeds, I think it drives really well. The 10-speed automatic actually isn't annoying like I thought it might be. I love the updated looks. I think they could have pushed the interior a little bit more with a couple more updated features. Mainly what I'm looking for is the gauge cluster. I think they could have updated the gauge cluster a little bit. But besides that, at the end of the day, I think they updated the right amount of the Tundra. And when I say right amount, you have to remember that this is still a truck, and a truck is a utility vehicle. And so they retained a lot of that utility part of the Tundra while still making it fresh and modern. I think this is a really good refresh of the Tundra itself. I think it's a really good start to the 3rd generation, and I'm excited to see what Toyota does with it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Toyota of Naperville for letting me take out their Tundra. This is absolutely awesome. I'm so glad I was finally able to get my hands on the new Tundra. It's very, very exciting, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.